Welcome to Great Talking Entertainment. I am your host, KJ, and this is the podcast where I review movies and TV shows from all your favorite superheroes, including Marvel Comics, DC Comics, and much more. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Great Talking Entertainment official channel. Now let's go, baby. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. I am KJ, the host of Great Talking Entertainment official channel, and as I continue on for the new Disney Plus series by Star Wars, The Acolytes, this is episode 5 spoiler review. If you have not seen this, please pause this, give me a thumbs up, go watch all the episodes on the Disney Plus, then come back, check out all my spoiler reviews, including this one. Leave your opinions in the comments below. Tell me what you think about Star Wars, what you think about this particular show or this episode or any episode. Tell me your theories, how you feel about it, whatever. Let me know in the comments below because I definitely want to hear your guys' feedback on The Acolyte. So, again, this is a spoiler review. Y'all been warned. Let's get into it. This episode starts off with a camera shot of it zooming in, or it looks like it started from the top and then it started to like come down a little bit in a slow way, like maybe the camera was dropping it in a sense in a slow way, but I thought that was really cool. And it's obviously the camera zoomed in into Osha, the sister that's with the Jedis. And obviously she was kind of like knocked out with the Force next to the Sith Lord that's been attacking them. And you know what? I like that shot because it was setting up the tone of how this episode's going to be. Obviously, this was a Sith Lord. And I say Sith Lord very loosely because as I go deeper into this conversation of this review, of whether it's a Sith Lord or not, do we consider it? How do we look at that, right? But this for the beginning of this is like before the intro, like you had to skip, right? The recap, the skip intro button, and but I really like that because it's like, okay, it reminded me in a way of like Avengers Infinity War with Loki, Thor, and Hulk interacting with Thanos in a sense. Like this was like it felt like a Thanos present, like because it's gonna get very not political but very godlike complex storytelling of this particular Sith Lord, which again I'm using that word loosely and I'll explain why later, but I really like that because that sets the tone. Like this was going to be an episode where the bad guy was going to win. In a sense, like the bad guy only loses until you defeat the bad guy. Like you have to bring him down, like take him in or defeat him or murder him, right? That's the only way this is going to go because this is a character that's not going to stop. You have to literally stop this character permanently, put him down in the ground type thing. And that's the tone that this sets off. And I got that just the way this camera angle was going. So I really want to, shout out to them, the people who work behind the scenes and the camera crew who made that angle shot look really cool. And it made this episode really amazing. And I just wanted to point out too, before I get in anymore, episode 5 to me, it really shut down the naysayers, the haters. Here's why. Episode 1 to until you get to episode 4, a lot of people, including myself, were really confused, and there was a lot of people outraged about everything that was going on with the director and the actress who plays both the girls, Osha and May, which I forgot her name, so I apologize, but if you know who her name is, you know. But a lot of negativity about, oh, this is the it for Star Wars, right? But episode 5 to me made sense for episode 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if you go back now and watch episode 1 to episode 5, now everything makes sense. Everything's cleared of why the events that happened through episode 1 to episode 4. So that's why it's like that. And I also believe that this will make people appreciate this particular show even more. I think people just jumped the gun a little too much. Like, I don't think Star Wars, the franchise, is dead because of this. I think this episode made us realize, oh, wait. So that's why everything went down like that. So, now let me explain why in a longer way. So, as we're going back to this episode, and then Osha kind of wakes up next to a dead Jedi. And she's wondering where everybody went. And she sees this epic lightsaber battle. And I really like it how all you see was the colors of the lightsaber. I mean, you can kind of see where the people were, but it was happening so quick. So the reason why they made it look like is that that's how she's viewing, how that character is viewing it, because it's happening so fast. Like, she can't tell who's actually has the upper hand. She just sees colorful lightsabers, boom boom, hitting trees getting sliced. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is setting the tone up for it. And it was an epic lightsaber battle that I personally thought that was excellent, and I thought they did a great job choreographing the battle scenes with these lightsabers. I thought this is part of their better ones in a lightsaber battle, and there's a lot throughout the Star Wars continuity of this, so shout outs to that. And you know what else I thought? Again, this tone was a dark theme, and we see this mysterious Sith Lord, which as it's revealed, it is humor, and he definitely did not hold back anything. He took out and did some murderous ways to Yonder and Jackie, and Soul told Yonder to run and take Osha with him. But he went back because Yonder is that type of character who is like a Boy Scout in a sense. Like, he follows the rules. He probably memorized the handbook, right? If there was, right? I'm not saying there's a handbook in this into becoming a Jedi. But he knew that what she was sensing through the Force, that in his heart, in his soul, she was right, and he went back, knowing that he's gonna meet death. His fate was death, because boy, as soon as he picked up Kumar's helmet and tried to hit him with it to protect Soul, man, he twisted his neck, like neck snapped him, like cracked his neck, like snap, like man. And before that, I think it was before that, we get Jackie, who again she the reason why she died, the reason why she got killed, is because she's a character that was going off by her emotions. And they've been kind of hinting through since episode 1 that she may have some feelings for Osha. So when she was battling May, which was really cool, and I liked it, right? And it led to her capturing May into handcuffs, but Kumar he showed up like a G, and he literally uh defeated her. And look, you know what? Here's a small detail. So we see Jackie kind of wielding like the two lightsabers. One of them was the Wookiees, the Jedi Wookiees lightsaber, and she was like, "Look, I got you." So her cockiness kind of led her to be kind of reckless. But you see him do the exact, because he had two. He stabbed her with two lightsabers, boom, boom, the same way she was gonna do that to him. Like, if she would have got the upper hand, it'd have been the same type of way that she got killed. That's how she would kill him, with the two lightsabers. You would saw one go through, and the other through his chest, and you would see the throughout their back, right? Just like how she got it. And I tell you what, that was crazy. And he didn't hold back. Like, this was some Anakin Skywalker. You want to talk about somebody like when kids get killed in this series. Like, this happened before Order 66. So this explains that there's been a cover up since the prequels, before the prequels. So this is a huge cover up that I don't even think Luke Skywalker or Princess Leia, who's the general, right, at the time, I don't think she discovered that secret. I don't even think Ahsoka or Obi-Wan Kenobi, maybe Yoda, but I doubt it. I doubt it. I'd be shocked if Yoda knew, but he kept it a secret, because from what this tells, this is like some hush hush, don't ever speak about this event. Like, maybe it's not in their history books. Maybe this is not in the scrolls or whatever they do, or data. But I think this is a big secret. Like, like I said, I don't think the OG Star Wars characters knew about this. The only one I would think would be Yoda or Palpatine, and we'll talk about him in a minute. But that's what I'm talking about when the way he got her. Like, so these two characters, Jedi characters, met their fate to death basically for two different reasons. One was emotions, one just went by, he knew that Yonder knew that this was the right decision, that he needed to go back, and Jackie was just trying to, she took it too easy on May for the respect and her feelings for Osha, and that's what led her to her fate to death. And that just explains, like, that's why, like, in Star Wars they said Jedis cannot be emotionally attached. Like, that's what they were all fearing for Anakin. Anakin was too emotionally attached. You know, he missed his mother, obviously, and then he missed his girl, and he was in love with his girl, right? And that's why they always say, like, Jedis cannot be emotionally too attached to something, because the fear, the anger, stuff like that leads you to the dark side, basically. And this is just another prime example of watching these two particular Jedis kind of do that. Even Soul at times through this, because obviously he was pissed off that this dude just came up and killed his people, killed his friends, people he trained, right? Saul was mad. But even Osha had to remind him, like, hey, this ain't the Jedi way. This ain't the Jedi way. Like, because this, Humor is like, look, I want to live in a world where I don't have to follow y'all rules. I want to follow my own, live my own life, basically. And this to me is like the way he was doing it. Like, and he even mentioned, now this is where I talk about Sith. Is he a Sith Lord? It seems like he may be not. So for the big debate that is this show, screwed up, because in the Star Wars prequels, I believe it's Phantom Menace, where everybody in the Jedi Council were like, "What are you talking about? Sith Lords haven't existed for X amount of years, right?" And so maybe because the way this character said it, he was like, you probably Jedi's probably call me a Sith. I don't know what I am. He doesn't even know what he is. So maybe at this, maybe it ain't a Sith Lord thing, but maybe it is. Who knows? But it seems like they're going to clarify a lot, and maybe they already had the answers to make sure this connects very well to the Star Wars cinematic universe, right? And I think that's just the most people are just freaked out that it might not, like they retconned it or whatever. But I think now it there is no clear extinct of what's a Sith Lord and what's not. I think that they're saying that Jedi's just assume that, oh, if you have a red lightsaber, you're a Sith Lord. And I honestly, I would say, okay, I can live with that. Maybe if he doesn't consider himself a Sith Lord, this ain't a Sith Lord thing. This is just a guy that's just breaking the laws, and they have to stop it. Like, so if he does get defeated, at least that we know that he's not truly a Sith Lord. And that's okay with me. Like, I think I can live with that. And then, like, in this episode too, we see May, her intentions basically is she wants to destroy all the Jedis, and she's not trying to become a Sith Lord. Like, she really deep down inside don't want to learn how to use a lightsaber like that, and she ain't trying to follow her own, well, not her own, but she's not trying to be on anybody's team. She's trying to get revenge and bring back what she was taught and brought up and raised to be from her mother and the other witches within that covenant. And I think that's the main thing that I like, how they reminded us, like, this is a story about two sisters. One wants to live the way that she was raised, obviously, and the other sister wants to live her own life because she don't want to be just a twin, just a sister. You know, she wants to be more. She wants to be her own person. And that's what it boils down to at this whole season of this story. One of my favorite scenes about this show, of this particular episode, was when Osha had those flying bugs get Kumar, and by having a piece of that droid be attached with the flashlight, and it took him up, and obviously he survived. Like, these things weren't gonna kill him. But I thought that was very clever, and it just shows us that she might be the one to defeat him, or there's a possibility of just her being the Sith Lord joining it, because again, we see in this episode where May and Osha battle each other. Like, May is upset, and she even quoted, like, they brainwash you. Like, these Jedis are not your friend; they're using you. And this brings up to that, there's a part where Soul ain't telling the whole truth, or keeping something from Osha that happened with their childhood past. Like, who really did burn down that witch's covenant? Who killed their mother, Like, who started this fire, basically? And it might have been Soul. It might not, but Soul might know who did. And truthfully, it wasn't May. There's a possibility, because after they battle and May got the upper hand on Osha, we see that she changed her clothes and cut her hair to look like Osha, and Saul has no idea that I don't think he knows, which is crazy. He might know, but at the end of this episode, they get on the shift, but luckily, that little awesome creature that looks adorable named Bastion, he's the true hero. He's going to be the true hero of this because he sniffed out. He knows what they both smell like. He's going to tell somehow tell that Jedi, like, hey, Saul, this ain't the one. But Yonder's the only one who knew the language, so I don't know how he's going to understand. Maybe he does, I don't know, but hopefully they'll have a good reason how he learns how to speak that Bastion's particular language and stuff, but he's going to be the one. Hopefully, I hope that character doesn't get killed off. Like, May be a really bad person if she did that. Like, don't do that to Bastion. He's just doing his job. Like, leave him alone. That's all I got to say about that, but I thought that was really cool. But then, like, Kumar takes Osha, and I think he knows that ain't May because of the tattoo on her arm. And so that's the key. That's probably going to be the key point for episode 6 is the tattoo marking on her arm. Whether it's the left or right arm, I forget. But I know that's an obvious. So the way I would give this episode, I thought this was a really cool. It felt like a Star Wars movie. You know, that's what I like about this episode. This one definitely felt like a Star Wars episode movie. Like, it felt cinematic. It was so cool. I enjoyed the battle scene. And, you know, again, if the doubters, the haters, thought this was going to be the worst show, like, this show still has a chance for redemption and hopefully get your guys' forgiveness in a way, especially the Star Wars fans who are upset about it. So definitely that. But let's get into some topics. So Saul, I really think he's gonna become a Sith Lord. Like, I mean, throughout that battle, they've been hinting it in this episode. Like, I think he has a darker past, and even Kumar was like, I know what I did with my darkness. What about you? What have you done with it? Hide it, bury it? Like, he's not being true to himself, and he's putting on a show. He's being fake. Because he's just, I don't know. He might turn evil. Humor, I thought this guy was really good. I like the idea of him. I like how he acts, and honestly, he may not be the main guy, but I personally think that Palpatine has pulled the strings on him, and I think what it is the real Sith Lords are fishing out or testing out the people who are worthy enough to become a Sith Lord, and they're killing off the weak ones or not worth their time. And he may be one of, like, he's good. But if he can get outsmart where somebody could put a piece of a flashlight on his back and have these bugs take him and be, taken up, and it took him X amount of minutes or hours or whatever to get back, and everybody's left and on a shift leaving that particular planet, he kind of lost. Palpatine would consider that 100% lost, that he failed the mission. So he may not be worthy enough to become a Sith Lord. And that's probably going to be some motivation to redeem himself to a Palpatine or Palpatine's master. We may see some Republican Knights. I don't know. It could. I mean, it could happen. Who knows? Let's talk about May and Osha now. Ooh. Now, here's what I think. I think Osha is going to be not brainwashed, but I think she's going to be shown a different viewpoint of how the Jedis are and how May is. And this is going to turn her into a Sith Lord. I think she has that Anakin Skywalker type feel. And I think that she might not become Darth Vader of a sorts, but I think she's going to be wearing that helmet that Kumar had. And it's going to be a different version, but it's going to be all black. And I think she's going to become a Sith Lord. I don't think that she ain't gonna care about the Jedi way no more. And I think May is gonna realize, like, oh, I screwed up bad. Because I think what May's issue is she's heartbroken. And I think that there's gonna be a time where she's gonna find peace within this and get the true answer out of this. And I think Soul's gonna finally break down and tell her, because she thinks May is Osha, and she's gonna realize, like, oh crap, I screwed up badly. But it's gonna be too late, because I think Osha, after all this, she's like, you know what? My sister turned on me. The Jedi left me. They turned on me. They just assumed that was me. And Kumar is going to look like a hero, an angel, a true friend. And she's going to turn Sith Lord. That's what I think. And I think Palpatine's going to help pull those strings too. So that's just how I think about that. But other than that, I think this story so far is getting better. I think the ball is really rolling, and I think the next episodes continuing on are going to be even great. And I think the way this is going to be played out, personally, I think everybody's going to really appreciate this show, and I don't think it's going to be a lot of hate comments or negativities. I mean, there probably will be, obviously, but not how it was in the beginning, like how everybody was going nuts about Star Wars, this show particularly. So that's what I think. But if I had to give this an episode 1 out of 10, I'd give this episode a 10. This was really good. I love how this story went. I like how everything's making sense and everything's coming together as a whole. And I think if you rewatch episode 1 through 5, I think it'll even make sense of it. I think you rewatch this whole show, like once they get to all the episodes are out, and you watch it from the first episode to the last episode, I think now it'll make sense for everybody, because now when you rewatch it, you'll be like, oh, that's why episode 1 or episode 2 or 3 are like this, or why that character talk like that or act like that. It's because it's finally all coming together. They're getting to the main point of this story for season 1. And again, I know it wasn't very clear what they were doing. They thought they were destroying the Star Wars franchise, but all they're doing, it was just hyping up even more. So I really like this episode for that particular reason. And another reason why I like this episode, and I thought this episode really made things clear, was just the fact that this was the right time, the right episode to make it feel like a Star Wars moment. You know, like if you really think about it, everybody had their reasons to come to this particular planet and get ready for battle. Everybody had a particular reason to address the white elephant in the room. You know, Osha and May needed this. Soul needed this. And the other 2 Jedis who were killed, they needed this, but this was their faith. They were more wiser, more mature about it in the sense than Soul was. May and Osha, they're just going by their past life. Okay? And again, this episode gave us that Star Wars lightsaber battle, but then it started to remind us that this whole story is about Osha and May. and they both want to live two different lives. And unfortunately, this means that there's friction. May is literally not the villain. She's not the bad person. She just wants her sister back. And she wants her and her sister to become witches. Not Jedis, not Sith Lords. She wants to become witches again. They want to bring that covenant back. They want to go back to that planet that was destroyed and rebuild it. That's what May wants. Osha doesn't want that life. And so I think moving forward from episode 6 to episode 8 is just about the final countdown of where these two stand. And do they both live, or does one live, or do they both die? Like, is this gonna be like, another Star Wars Rogue One type movie? Like, is this what's gonna be? Like, ain't nobody surviving. But who knows? Because this is before episode 1 in the prequel, so I mean, there's a lot of there's only a few ways this season can end. And I personally think that maybe these characters should be around more so we can explore more of this particular story of each characters to maybe get to like the High Republican Knights or some of the older Sith Lords that you can only kind of read about through the books or comic books of the Star Wars franchise. So that's what I think. But they may, just kill them all off. Who knows? But the way this goes, it looks like the tone's just gonna get darker. Not like a Batman way or R-rated way, nothing. But I just think that maybe the good guys don't really win. And the Sith Lords get the victory for season 1. Who knows? But there's not very much way they can go with this particular story. And either one is good. It's fine with me. Like, I just can't really pinpoint where they would do what I'm guessing. But if I had to guess, I would say that this is when this whole season ends, I think the Sith Lords are going to be the victorious one for this particular timeline. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. So that's my review, guys. Thank you so much. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Great Talking Entertainment official channel. Subscribe, hit that notification button so you can always get updated with all my latest content. Thank you guys, and peace out.